So last week I released a video titled 3 Essential Tips to Keep Your Muscle Mass. And I'll link to that video right here for you guys if you didn't see it. And it was a really great video, especially if you've been stuck at home worried about losing your muscle. But then after that, myself as well as lots of other fitness YouTubers started releasing home workout videos, which I thought was great, right? In fact, I thought it was so cool to see so much of the YouTube fitness community coming together during this crisis to help us all stay moving even though we're stuck at home. But then it hit me that one very important thing was missing. Now that you know how to keep your muscle mass and how to work out from home, how do you stay motivated, right? Guys, when you're stuck at home, staying motivated to do anything starts to become an intense game of mental warfare. It's so easy to slack off and fall into really bad habits, and I'm talking from experience. I've been working from home for years, and growing up I always thought it would be the most amazing thing ever. And don't get me wrong, working from home certainly has its perks, but after a while, the lines start to blur between work time and relax time. It's almost like when you leave the house, you compartmentalize different parts of your life, and certain surroundings stimulate different outcomes of how you act, right? For example, when you get to your job, your brain knows it's time to work, and you get to work. When you get to the gym, your brain knows that it's time to lift, and you feel motivated to lift. And then when you get home, your brain knows that it's time to relax and start to wind down. But now, all of that's out the window, right? And I know a lot of you are already starting to experience either a bit of depression or cabin fever or more just demotivation, right? And whatever the case may be, if you don't put an end to it now, it will continue to go downhill fast. I've seen it happen, guys. It's bad, right? So I wanted to offer you guys 5 tips to stay motivated to keep training while you're stuck at home. And it might seem a little crazy, but they help. Tip number 1, I want you to step on the scale every morning. Get out your notebook, write down the date, step on the scale, and write that number down. If your goal is to gain muscle, then the last thing you want is for that number to start going down. And if it starts going up too fast, then you know you're packing on body fat. Accountability, guys, visual accountability. And the same goes for you if your goal is to lose weight. If that number starts going up, then you're starting to pack on body fat, right? And if it starts to go down too fast, you're most likely losing muscle from not eating enough food. And also, guys, if you're stuck at home, you don't have anyone to tell you that you're slacking, right? But the scale will never lie. Give it a name. Call it Broly, because Broly doesn't care about your feelings. He just wants a good fight. Now, I've given my wife permission to be as hardcore with me as possible. I told her if I start looking a bit fatty and flat, tell me to my face. That's what motivates me. Tough love. But if you don't have someone at home to give you the honest-to-God truth, then just go visit Broly every morning and write down your weight. Tip number 2, as soon as you wake up, move, okay? Get the blood flowing. When you have to go to work, you're forced to get up and go, right? But when you got nowhere to be, it's so easy to go back to sleep or just move from the bed to the couch and then stay there for hours. You don't even realize how much time will go by. Not good. So as soon as you wake up, do some stretches or push-ups or air squats or even jumping jacks. Get fresh blood flowing throughout your body. It's like a pump for your brain. Let's call it a brain pump. Let your brain know that it's time to work and wake up. Think about this. Do a lot of you guys get your best ideas when training at the gym or doing cardio? Because I know I do, and it's because my body is moving and waking up and becoming more alert. So move as soon as you get up, as soon as the alarm goes off, get out of bed, get your body moving. Tip number 3, go outside. Leave the phone in the house, find a spot to lay down or stand up or whatever, and focus on nice and controlled breathing for about 20 to 30 minutes outside in the sunlight. A lot of you guys have 0 commute time now that you're stuck at home, so you definitely have time for this. And to be honest, part of the reason why my family and I moved to Florida was because seasonal depression was starting to kick in living in New Hampshire and working from home. It was always raining and snowing, and when I did have a chance to go outside, most of the time I just didn't because I already had a bad habit of staying at my work desk all day. Guys, you need fresh air and sunlight. It makes a huge difference in your mood. So no excuses. Go outside, 20 to 30 minutes. Tip number 4, set a timer to eat and hydrate several times throughout the day. When you work from home and spend a lot of time in one spot, you will not feel hungry. and your body will adapt to this by not wanting as much food. I'm serious. You'll sit down at 9 o'clock and you'll look over and it'll be 2 and you haven't eaten anything. So let's say right now you're eating 3,500 calories a day. Well, I guarantee after being stuck at home and not paying attention to your eating schedule, that number will drop down to like 2,000 calories, and you won't even realize it until you finally take a good look in the mirror and realize you're starting to look a little smaller and a little flat. This is why tip number 1 is so important. Get on that scale and you would have caught it a lot sooner. So set a timer for meals, guys. You will thank me later. Accountability is key to keeping your gains. And tip number 5, and this is probably the most important tip, as soon as you start having the thought of, I'll do it later, especially when it comes to your workout or cardio, I want you to write down the date and time of when you had that thought, and then look in the mirror and remind yourself of something very important.
I see pride. Can't hear you. I see power. I see a badass mother who won't take no crap off of nobody. Once again!
Guys, acting on the thoughts of I'll do it later is so dangerous, because the more you give in, the harder this habit will be to break. And that's why I want you to write down the date and time, even if you don't act on it. Because if you visually see the amount of times you start doubting yourself, that will have a tremendous impact on your motivation to not give in. Guys, staying at home all day, every day, all week, month, year is mental warfare. And some of these tips might sound silly, but for those of you who've been working home since before the lockdown, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for my own sanity, if these tips helped you in any way, please make sure you give that like button a quick tap. That like button seems to be the only thing that the overlords at YouTube care about, and tapping it really helps me out. Also, I plan to keep on releasing home workouts for you guys using body weight, dumbbells, and resistance bands, so be on the lookout for those throughout the week. And if you missed any of my recent workouts, you can click this playlist link over here. There's like 65 workouts you guys can check out. And I also have a full 12-week at-home dumbbells only program that you can try for free, and I'll put that link right here. There's 9 total workouts. You guys are gonna love it. They're all follow along. So apply these 5 tips, stay safe, and as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.